Sohams, synergy of hand, mind and soul. Friends, so far I've taken you through with each of my 11 beautiful soulmates to give you a little bit of perspective on how they are helping me out every day, every day, every day. Well, today is the day of wrap up, and I would like to give a holistic view of these 11 soulmates in sync and how are they helping me in moving forward in this ever-challenging, ever-changing, dynamic world, at the same time very beautiful world. Well, to do so, I'm making use of a simple demo to bring the point home. And out here I'm putting this glass full of pure energy, full of pure water, transparent water, in front of you as a representative of my life. And friends, what happens is that when we come to this world, we come with nascent eyes and nascent heart. We are absolutely transparent and clear. And what happens is, at the same time, in my hand is the representative of pure energy. The energy of love, the energy of encouragement, the energy which is so beautiful, which represents growth. And when we come in this world, we get lots and lots of this positive energy in us, in shape of love coming from our parents, from our near and dear ones, in terms of encouragement, in terms of helping us to walk, to talk. And the life starts like that with beautiful nascent eyes. But at the same time, as we start growing, we have our hard disk, which is open with the 5 sensory keyboards. And it's the keyboard coming from our eyes, coming through the smell, coming through what we hear, coming through our sensations, coming through our feelings. And then also what happens is that on the other side, this represents the negative energy. We keep on getting some dope. When we are little, we are told, well, you can't do that. No, don't do that, don't touch. Don't eat this. It's beyond your capability. Well, this kind of energy we all can associate with. We have got it ourselves and we give it to our children. And we give it to our children for their benefit. We know it's harmful for them, but then it keeps creating. Both kind of energies keep pouring into our life. There's energy which is encouraging, which is taking us forward, which is telling us you can do it. At the same time, there's energies which keep telling us, sorry, it's not meant for you. But that's life. So what happens is, from a very, very nascent, uncolored glasses, we start wearing some kind of a shade, some kind of a color, and this color gets very, very deeply embedded in our subconscious mind. Well, what happens is, now let me link this with my 11 beautiful soulmates. So every morning, when I start with this 4-minute reflective practice, what am I telling essentially to myself? Well, gentlemen, God to you is via goodness. Goodness, I need to be first good to myself. And when I'm good to myself, what I can do is I can be good to others. I can be good to people around me. I can be good to my family. I can be good to my organization. And therefore, it tells me that, look, goodness is essential to move towards God. Well, then also, it tells me that, look, while there may be certain kind of issues, certain kind of challenges which suck your energy, which make me so very unhappy, it tells me that, look, happiness is the biggest catalyst for growth. You need to find reasons. How can you be happy? Happiness is so very important because happiness is the biggest catalyst. The biggest catalyst to open your mind, to open your heart, and move towards the positive growth of yourself, of your business, of people whom you love and like, and society at large. And then the third soulmate, which tells me so very well, you got to be the best student of your life, because life is the biggest Ivy League. Keep finding reasons, keep finding areas, keep finding ways and means, keep innovating. What can you learn from life? And if you don't learn from life, you are losing something very, very important. But at the same time, my fourth soulmate tells me that keep giving, giving and giving, because giving is the best elixir of bringing proper self-image. Now, the self-image may be sitting on the throne, or the self-image may be belittled, but both these self-images are termed as negative self-images. And what we require is a proper self-image. And therefore, by bringing the proper self-image at the right pedestal, what we are saying is that my soulmate tells me that you have the right multiplier. Because if you multiply anything with negative, it turns negative. And giving is the best elixir for enhancing someone's image to the proper self-image. And giving may not necessarily be just materialistic. It could be in so many forms and shapes, and one can be innovative about it. Even a pat on the back is a big giving. Giving hope. Giving hope to a person in need. Listening with intent. Empathy. All these are different shapes and forms of giving, and one can be very liberal in making use of these. And then, of course, a lot of issues and challenges come in life through the finger which represents ego. Ego at times is the biggest destroyer of happiness. And then my soulmate tells me, boy, merge your ego in the truth, and this is the truth, the symbolic of truth. I've merged my ego in the truth and I've conquered the world. And this belief, this insight, this thinking, morning after morning, those few seconds become so important in pouring good, positive energy to handle the ego, which is so very important in taking care of ourselves. And then, while these 5 soulmates are so very important as enabler soulmates, I call them enablers. And then the next ones are the ones which are very practical, which govern our actions, which impact our personal and professional life as well. Well, here, my soulmate, which is anchored like this, it tells me, I always work with lock and key approach. Everyone has a hidden Buddha, and what we need is to find the key of the chest where the Buddha is lying. And then moving on, the soulmate, which is again so very important to take us forward, because this soulmate tells me that hurt, whether justified or unjustified, is self-destructive. It is like a poison which I drink and wish the other person dies, and hurt is a big stealer, is a big stealer of peace of mind, of happiness. And hurt takes us in the back view lane, in the back view mirror, years and years behind, our mind gets into that, or it takes us 2, 5, 10, 20 years ahead. And we miss the very important part of a life which is present. And therefore, by saying that hurt, whether justified or unjustified, is self-destructive, is so very important. It reminds me every single morning, well, gentlemen, if you need to progress in life, you need to focus on now. And then moving on in sync with my other soulmates, And that soulmate tells me all challenges are divine surgery. The challenges and problems come in life to open another door. And that door opens, and that door can be much more beautiful. That door opens only when we are focusing on the area of control. And if we get into the area beyond control, we get into the blaming game, we get into what can I do about it? Why those guys are behaving like this? Why this government and why this bureaucracy and why this and that? Then we lose out, definitely. But when we focus on the area of control, when this soulmate tells me every single morning for those 8 to 10 seconds, it is a great reminder to continue keeping in the area of control. And when we focus like that, the area starts becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, moving on to the next one, which tells me about winning. We all are born winners, and here it tells me when I win. Of course, this is a great way to go forward. But when I lose, I learn, and therefore I always win. Some people get into the habit of double whammy by not learning from the loser. And therefore, loss is also a big investment which can be utilized to learn from there, and then that one loss can help us in getting 100 victories. Moving on, this soulmate is a soulmate which I call the captain soulmate, because this is a soulmate about leadership. And this soulmate talks about, I'm investing heavily in leaving behind worthy values for my children, next generation, colleagues and friends. And this is a great soulmate because it keeps me in check. Even if my mind goes towards doing something as a shortcut, but this soulmate tells me, well, friend, whatever you do is being watched and you're leaving behind a legacy. So do something which is value-based, which you are not ashamed of at a later date. And then my last soulmate, the 11th soulmate, which is the coach, which is carrying the 10 gauges, which is the soulmate about I'm always changing. And if this soulmate is not happy, if this soulmate doesn't see a change, a positive change in my 10 soulmates, then it puts a red flag, and I need to work on that. So friends, these are my 11 soulmates which I've tried to give a more synergistic perspective that how do they work together. None of the soulmates in isolation is good enough. I might say it 100,000 times, but these soulmates put together in sync, what happens is that these 11 soulmates put together, they are much greater than some of these 11 soulmates. So that's what is a synergy between these 11 soulmates. And friends, the life is that whether we like it or not, the life is that we will keep on getting inputs, which may be positive inputs, which are beautiful inputs. At the same time, we'll keep on getting inputs which suck us energy. That's life, that's world. But our job is that while these are coming, we keep on diluting them. And more we dilute, we find that the color of our glasses becomes more and more clearer. We can see our objective, we can see our purpose, that why we are here in this world. Whatever amount of pure energy I pour, there is bound to be some shade. The question is that how dark is that shade? The question is how light is the shade? How pure is that shade? Which way is it swinging? We cannot be perfect, but definitely we can impact the color of the glass, the color of the energy. And friends, these 4 minutes are great, are giving me a lot of positive energy to move on in this world with a head high. Wish you all the best, and I will come with my last episode, and that would be Q&A, because a lot of you friends have some questions which I've tried to put them together, and I'll spend maybe 10 minutes in my next video to complete the series on Sohams, synergy of hand, mind and soul. Bye for now.